we need a little more consistency out of some other guys shooting the ball. Obviously, JB's had a great year and is scoring consistently well most days, but we've been a little inconsistent in our other positions. And then just a little bit of timely stops. I think that's the other thing. I think Virginia game, we had a couple chances where we took the lead late, and we couldn't get that big stop to give us a chance to take a 1-point lead and make it 3 or 4. So just timely stops and 1 or 2 more guys making a couple big timely shots.
I know the entire team must be frustrated with how the recent play has gone, but have you noticed an increase in frustration with JB?
Well, not really. JB's been fine. I mean, obviously he'd like to win, and feels like he's playing at a very high level, and he is, and it's good. We haven't played that poorly. I think that's, if we were playing really bad, then I think, we might be a little more down or disappointed. We certainly aren't happy, and we're a little disappointed that we weren't able to win. Some of those road games, obviously the chance with Virginia when we took the lead, we had opportunities and we just weren't able to close those things out. So we're a little disappointed, but I don't think we're down and demoralized. I think, if we were demoralized, I think we would have bad performances on the road and be getting blown out in games. And basketball is a funny game that the timing of making shots and getting stops is really important. And we just haven't, for whatever reason, been able to kind of come up with a couple of big plays in all these close games. If we get a big basket, we don't get the stop. If we get, a couple of stops, and they take JB away, we don't get another guy that makes a lot of baskets and gets it going that way. So it's not just one thing, but we knew we have some deficiencies as a team this year, and sometimes the longer you play, people recognize those and make that a little bit more difficult, just like we try to do with our opponents, take away their strengths. And we just need a couple guys to kind of get hot and just kind of get their confidence back at a little bit of higher level. I think we have a couple guys that are maybe just not playing at the level that we need them to play at if we're going to be in one of the top teams in this league. We just kind of been playing okay, and because of that, we fall into the middle of the pack.
So is tomorrow kind of a really good opportunity, not just for the team to get some momentum going into the tournament, but some of the other?
Well, the first thing I would caution everybody on is Boston College is different now because they've got their 2 guards back that are, in my opinion, are maybe their second and third best players. Jerome Robinson and A.J. Miller, I think it is, are really good players and going to be great players in this league. And so I think, people look at Boston College and you see a team that hasn't won any games, but they've been playing. The first half of the year they played with a bunch of freshmen, and now they've been playing without 2 of their 4 best players. And you saw what they did with NC State when they got those guys back, and that was just their first game. So we're going to have to play really well to win. They're obviously going to be highly motivated about trying to scratch out a win. I think they're going to. You watch their team in the game against NC State, and their enthusiasm was at a much different level because they got their roster back. They got 2 guys out there that are really good players, and I think they're feeding off of those guys' good play. Robinson comes back and immediately goes to double figures, and Miller does as well and hits 3 threes. And I mean, it's just a completely different team now. And so we've just talked the last week or 2 just about we've got to play better basketball. We've got to concentrate on a couple things that we need to do a little bit better. I thought defensively, minus the first 4 minutes of the Virginia game, I thought we defended Virginia very well. We held them to 40% shooting or whatnot. Did a good job on a bunch of their good players. So again, I think our guys competed hard. I think we performed well in a lot of ways. We were a little rusty at the beginning and didn't start the game the way we needed to, and that cost us. But I don't think we played poorly, and so we just need to continue to play better, continue to play at a high level, and we just need to get 1 or 2 more guys to make a few more timely shots in important situations, especially when teams, gear to stopping JB.
In terms of seeding in the ACC, you guys got a chance to get 6th in the league, one of the toughest in the country. That's kind of a big deal for you.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it really is. I mean, this is a demanding league. We've kind of been in that, 4, 5, 6, 7 range for most of the conference season. I would hate for us to slip here right at the end and ended up, 8th or 9th or whatever it is, but I don't know if it matters drastically, to be honest with you. I think your first round opponents in this league are going to be good games, tough games. Certainly, for a while there, we were competing for a top 4 seed, and that's what we wanted to try to get and advance to the next round. That hasn't happened because we haven't finished off some games, and so now, we just need to play better basketball and hopefully get a win and kind of build a little bit more positive momentum going into the tournament.
In what ways do you expect Boston College to challenge you tomorrow?
I think offensively they're just going to be more dangerous because they got two of their better players back. Two guys that are, Robinson's a double-figure scorer at like 12 a game. Miller's a guy that can shoot, and they both are big kids. They're both, 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". They're right in that range where they have size and length, and so, they're more athletic. And then they'll change defenses and mix a bunch of things up. Man, zone, presses. We'll see a lot of different things that we'll have to deal with.
What do you think the things the team needs to do most to get it back on track for the ACC tournament?
Same things we've been talking about: timely shooting and a couple of stops at the end of close games. I don't think it's anything different than that. There's nothing drastically different that we need to do. We need to have a couple of guys step up and make bigger plays in important times. I mean, we can't go to JB all the time. We got to have other guys step up and make shots.
In terms of Clifford guarding him, do you change anything because they're a little more dangerous on the wings?
Hard to, really, to be honest with you. It's hard to go and double and do things. He's having a great last half of the ACC season. I mean, he's playing really well. He's a big, strong guy that for the first time in his career has been healthy. And, obviously you've watched him grow as a player this year because he's been healthy. He's able to build his confidence. Landry and City have to do a good job against him. But I don't know that we can go send a bunch of people there because they shoot the ball so well from 3 that you're going to give up a bunch of threes. So we got to be really careful that way.
They shot such a high percentage, Landry and City, against Virginia. So hard to get them the ball. Do you kind of have to keep trying to feed him?
It's hard, yeah. I mean, and obviously the Virginia situation, they trap you a lot and make it hard to get it in there for those guys to make quick moves. You got to get it to them from the top some, and you got to get it to them with space. I do think that scoring inside will be important. I don't think that's as easy to do because I think Clifford's a big, strong guy. I mean, he's 7'1" and has weight and experience and is very physical. And so, those guys are going to have to be opportunistic, but they're going to have to find some ways to get some early baskets, whether it's in transition or whatnot. We got to get down there early and try to get some easy baskets against them.